Hey there, welcome. Today I'm going to talk about Irvine Beat FM, which, if you watched the video, you probably heard a lot about on the North Ayrshire news recently. Hopefully this will be my final word on this subject, because I'm sick of talking about it, because I blog and I'm just writing about it on Facebook. Because it's an important part of my life for the last 9 years and it's all going to hell at the moment. I'll give you a quick update for anyone who doesn't know me. I was there pretty much at the beginning, well, a few months after the beginning basically. So the first broadcast, all the RSLs, I was a fundraiser. I was, talked about 2013, I was the the company secretary from 2011 to 2013, which meant I did all the Oscar stuff, all the, the license application, got his charity stated, wrote the constitution, all that stuff. That was my job. Right, and after that I left more or less because of mental health issues. I've still been involved in the station at a smaller level, but I don't really get that involved anymore because it's just too stressful dealing with what's been going on for years basically, but especially the last few weeks. So I couldn't deal with the workload. I didn't want to deal with a lot of politics, so I kept a distance, but I still helped out technically. I still gave advice when they needed it. I still tried to be helpful. I think I went back on the board for a little bit to advise them, but that didn't work out. But I've kind of kept a distance since then because my job was to get them to the launch basically, and that's what I did. So after that point I kind of backed away. I really couldn't do it anymore. So that's the context, because I've never really talked about this in a video before. But the last few weeks a lot of things have happened, and I don't really want to blame everybody and say it's all black and white around that, because it's not. It really isn't. Even though I'm angry at certain things that happened, it's not black and white. It's nowhere near black and white. And I want to talk about it a little bit because I think it's important to try and give them the context. Right, basically, a fortnight before this, 2.5 weeks actually before this video was filmed, two members of the board resigned. Ronnie McGee, I think Andy Worth resigned the same day. The day after, apparently at a board meeting, it was decided that 5 volunteers who had been critical of some of the financial dealings of the station would lose their shows. They were told they were no longer needed for the shows. That was it, they were out basically. Just en masse, that was like a disaster really. There's no way around it. That was a disastrous decision. There's nothing you can really say about that. It was a stupid decision. I don't know why they thought they got away with that. That was really dumb. And it's been the thing that's killed them ever since. The day after, there was lots of stress about it and lots of, what we're going to do, this is horrible. I mean, everybody was in a state of shock at what happened. I mean, I know I was. I mean, eventually I've said something, I mentioned to online that I was feeling bad about it privately. And people in the station offered their support. People who are still volunteers and still doing shows, who felt really bad about what had happened, who are still doing their shows, offered support. This is, we support the decisions to complain about this. We support their rights to see this is wrong. Then they were told by the board that that wasn't allowed either. So on the Thursday morning, David Hammond resigned, and then in support of what happened to him, I resigned because I thought, well, David resigned from doing shows, he didn't resign from the company. I resigned from the company completely because I thought, you cannot tell people who to support, who isn't. That's not your job as a charity. That's not your job as an organisation. That's not what you should be doing. because the decision was controversial. You can't just say you must all fall into our decision. The board seemed to be saying you must all fall into what we wanted, when it was more complicated and people could have a dissenting opinion. Ronnie had a similar situation with McGee, and he left too. Ian Taylor left in solidarity with his friends. So 4 of us left the next day on the Thursday, and that was it basically. Really, other things have happened. I've been told other things. I've been trying to keep in communication. I've communicated with people who have left. I've sent an email to the chairman. I've talked to him a little bit, who's still there. And the problem for me really is, I'm friends with people on both sides. It's very difficult, this is what's stressful about it for me, because I'm really stressed my god about this, is I'm still genuinely feel fond of people who are on the board, and I still genuinely feel fond of people who have left, and both sides seem to really hate each other, and it's not helpful, because there's this real fault here, and there's a real lack of communication, and there's a lot of hate, there's a smugness. I mean, I was told of, allegedly yesterday, someone who's still in the station went past at the shop of someone who left and looked inside and looked smug. How does that help anybody? That's childish. Right, and I mean, the big thing is, no one's won. Really, no one has won here. You may essentially, Irvine Beat has been hammered in the papers for this decision. You know, there was a follow-up report a few days ago. There was Sin Divine did a concert as a fundraiser. He wanted the money to go to tech. The money went to the general fund. It could have gone anywhere. And he was doing the concert, and they didn't follow his wishes. Now they can't say, oh well, he gave us the money, we do what we like. But if he was doing it for a specific point, you have to spend the money there. Really, that's my opinion. That's what the concert was for tech. So you can say, oh, I'm technically right, but you're not morally right. I think that's my big problem overall. Irvine Beat have skirted the rules and said see, we can technically defend this, but anyone watching the situation can say, you can't really defend it. It's really bad what you've been doing. And I think that's been a big problem. And one of the reasons I'm appalled is these are people who are friends of mine doing it to other friends of mine. That's a real problem for me, because I'm stressed about both sides. I'm actually worried about both sides, the health of both sides. I mean, I don't think either side are sleeping well. I think everybody's kind of messed up. And I'm making a video then, I'm just kind of going, I'm done. I'm just not going to be involved in this anymore. This mess is a disaster. And there's no point in it. There's really no point. No one's going to win out of this. I mean, the station at the moment, right, the station's terrible. I mean, they get rid of 5 presenters, then lost another 3 presenters and me who could do technical stuff. So they've lost a lot of technical people and presenters. A lot of the people who they've lost did a lot of cover for them. So they lost a lot of cover presenters who would cover for shows if a presenter couldn't make it. They're all gone. A lot of presenters going now are not. They've been stretched pretty thin because they're now covering more shows than they should. So you get the same voices all the time. It doesn't sound good. There's no variety. Who wins out of this? No one wins. No one's winning. And the brand of Irvine Beat now is so toxic. A lot of the listeners have walked away because a lot of the favourite presenters were thrown out. If you're an advertiser, advertising Irvine Beat might feel a bit dodgy at the moment because it's so controversial. I don't know how it's going to affect your advertising, but I suspect not well. You know, but that's the decision for advertisers to make, not anyone else. Funders look up Irvine Beat now, will look up and see controversy, mismanagement of funds. It's very hard to get funding. It's going to make it much harder. So there's now a petition asking the station to change the board. There's lots of things going on here that's very difficult. So I mean, it's been going on for a while though. I mean, that's the thing. There's been an atmosphere on the station for a long time. I was avoiding going in for a long time. Like, I would go in, do my little bit and leave. I would go early so that I wouldn't have to get caught up in anything. Really, if I could avoid being in there, I would, because it just wasn't fun. You'd walk in and you'd just hear a lot of aggro and a lot more aggro. This happened, that happened. And it's been on for years. I mean, this has been horrible for years. It's like, there's always this feeling of, there's always something else coming up. There's always something else coming up. We fell out with this person, now they're against us. Fell out with this person, now they're against us. We're paranoid about this person, we're paranoid about that person. And you're trying to make the station work. There's all this paranoia going on, it's always this grudge. So I learned to avoid it as much as I could. But the last year seems to be even worse. And you want to go in and you want to be nice to people and you want to be helpful to them. And I've offered to be helpful. Is there anything I can do that's take some of the load off? I'm always, even though there's limits to what I can do because of my health issues, I've tried to be helpful about it. But no one really does much. It's always this grudge of misery of, oh, this is going to happen. Oh, that person I don't like. How do we make sure they don't get much power? That's what the conversations feel like a lot of the time. And it's paranoia. And I'm sympathetic. Some people don't like each other. Right? And I genuinely think the board are scared of the people who they threw out. They're scared they will want to take control and change everything. And I also know that the people who get thrown out are rightfully mad at the board for completely just doing this at a grudge. This is a grudge thing. That was it. They didn't like them. They wanted them gone. They wanted everything gone. I mean, I don't even, the people who were thrown out, only think I want to talk to two of them. I've had conversations with one, Jim Higgins. I've talked to Laura Mack before all this happened. But the rest I don't really know. I've never met quite a few of them, or I've met them and nodded and that's it. I mean, it's that I've not really been in major conversations with many of them. Like face to face, I just haven't done it. I've communicated a little bit with them after it happened to see what their point of view of the situation was. Obviously, because you want to hear what everyone's got to say about it. But it's like my loyalty, the thing that really annoyed me was what happened to my friends who supported their friends. I just thought that was unconstitutional. It was wrong. You should not do that. And this is all about grudges. It's not. You can point back to, or we can defend ourselves here, here, and here. It was a grudge thing. That's all it ever was. And when it is done, it's made Irvine Beat look really bad publicly. It's destroyed his brand. The product's now terrible. I mean, they said it's to freshen the station. How is the station fresh when it sounds so bad? They couldn't even come up with a good excuse of why they get rid of these people. There was no good excuse. That was it. They just wanted rid of them. And they don't have the guts to admit it because they look bad and would get pulled up for it. Because it wasn't a grudge. It was a grudge thing. There was also a thing as, oh, we asked him to come back and talk to us. Well, the only person I'm going to talk to is Hugh, who's the chairman. And he's here sometimes, not here other times. I mean, Hugh's the person here I've known longest. I really like Hugh. And I think he's a bad spot. I really do. And because I don't think he was the one who was pushing all of this. But the people who left, who get fired basically, I'm going to come back and speak to them and say, oh, we trust you, because you just fired them. You just threw them out completely. How are they going to trust you to say, oh, we'll have a talk? What are you going to say in the talk? Oh, please come back, everyone's forgotten. I don't think that's going to happen. I think people who wanted rid of them will keep wanting rid of them. And will say, no, we're not having them back. Because I've been on those board meetings when I was there years ago. And a lot of people who are there then are there here now. And I know what they're like. I know the good side, I know the bad side. These people are not coming back. So any meeting we're going to have was not going to deliver anything. It was just a say we met them. That's it. I would hope that people who are thrown out would actually communicate what their side of the story actually was. Because I think it's unclear to people how they saw step by step what happened. I think they should say what happened. I can't say it for them, but I'd like if they would say it. But they were in a no man's spot. I mean, whatever. They were basically being called out. They were thrown out, and they were basically given very little chance to come back. And then they get taken off the volunteer status because they brought the station into disrepute, when the actual first act, which is throw them out, brought the station into disrepute. The board brought the station into disrepute. They just reacted to that. That's indisputable. Everyone knows that, apart from the board. And since I'm friends with them, I'm pretty disgusted with them. And I wish they hadn't done it. So that's a major problem. They behave terribly, and they've continued to be in the defensive. And it's not helpful for anybody. I put a post on Facebook about all of this saying, look, all these board people, they've worked really hard for the station over the years. They really have. I mean, Jack put on all the stuff on the system. He's done a lot of work. I've just done a lot of work trying to make sure our connections are to the community. Everyone's done a lot of work. Don's done a lot of work. Everybody. But in this case, they're wrong. All the worst instincts come out. And they've also... They're not getting the idea the community station is something that should evolve. They're not letting it evolve. It has to evolve somehow. They're not letting it. They want to keep to what they know. And it's killing the station. The station has to have new blood come in. Anytime new blood comes in, they get rid of it. And they can't. They are now the problem because they cannot accept new blood. I mean, that's the frustration anyone who's ever dealt with the board has had pretty much since 2013, 2014. It's like, can we do this? No. If I've tried it before, it doesn't work. Or can we try it a different way? Nope. I mean, it all connects to Jack and Angus are the kind of controllers, everyone else is kind of outliers. I mean, they'll say it's not the case, but anyone who's been in the station knows that is the case. And the problem is, both of them, they're very nice, I really like them. They are old and they're old fashioned. And there's certain things they will not follow up on. They will really resist. The biggest show we've got is Ronnie's, or what we had, was the Wednesday night sessions. They did not like that idea. Trust me, because I was in on it. They did not like the idea. We had to push it through, and it became the biggest success. And there's things like that just will not be allowed through. And it needs a more diverse board, because a lot of the board just, like, you think, why are you there on the board? You don't seem to have many ideas. It used to be in a board when we set it up, everybody on the board had to have a job. This is what you do for the station to be on the board. You have to earn the right to be on this board. That was thrown out after I left, and it was a disaster. It should never have happened. Everyone on the board has to have a job. This is what you're doing, this is what you're controlling. This is what you're bringing to the station. This is why you're above and have a special vote. That's what it should be. But it's not. At the moment it's just like, we're all equal, but some of us are more equal than others. And that's wrong. That just should not happen. It's just, you know, they're getting rid of people with ideas. Everybody, when we look at who's now there, there's only about 3 or 4 people there who were there at the beginning. Everyone else is gone. I mean, some people didn't help themselves, some people behaved badly, but some people, like the people who left, me, Ronnie and David Hammond, we were there very early. And we've had our issues with the station, but we've been there back. Even when Ronnie's pretty much been a cover for years. He's barely had time off. And they get rid of him with a letter that was so insultingly just vague, like, good luck in the future, that's it. Same with me, all the stuff I've done, good luck in the future. The worst one was David Hammond, who did not deserve what he got. They basically said he violated some agreed thing because of something happened in the past, but that thing had, you know, it's for David to say, but the agreement they had, that was well out of date. And everything he did from then has been for the station. He's really worked his arse off for the station. He was treated absolutely horribly, and I can't really stand by that. That is awful. he should never have been treated the way he was. I mean, he really shouldn't. And no one should. Even if you don't like the people, the presenters who were there, and I know for a fact, the board did not like them. Right? The board hated them. It wasn't, this was just hatred of these people. That's all it was. And they get rid of them. They found a reason to get rid of them. There wasn't any more reason to freshen the station up when you're getting rid of some of the people who have got good followings. How does that freshen the station up when you don't have anyone to replace them? It was just hatred. And you find a justification for it, but it's using the station to settle vendetta. And the station should be about community, and that's what it is about, community. I mean, all this really started when we changed everything around after we got rid of Winnie years ago. Winnie McMahon was the person who did the sales when we first started. And after I left the board, 3 months later, she was forced out. There was lots of different theories of what happened, but a lot of people left then in disgust of what had happened because she'd been forced out, and it became a kind of civil war then. I left the station for 2 weeks and I went back because I liked a lot of people involved. But looking back, I feel a bit guilty with that. I always felt a bit guilty with that. I mean, there's lots of people there who've now left, who now look upon the people who are still there and say, oh, why are they still there? But you just did it when Winnie get thrown out. I mean, everyone wants the station to actually be on air. And a lot of people didn't really support when Winnie got thrown out. And I think that was horrible. It really was. And from then on, the station got changed. And it's never been quite the same. It's always been this thing of protecting those at the top. And there's been a genuine lack of respect for people, for their efforts from then on. And I think, it's like, oh, you did this for us, thanks, and then what have you done for me lately? So I don't think people, I can say, because in some ways I was one of the people on the inside, they liked me, so I was saying, oh, thanks for what you did. But a lot of people didn't happen to. I think there was a lack of appreciation. Even like if you're no longer in a club, you get a Dear John letter, which I ended up getting later on, and Ronnie got, and people who didn't deserve to get that got. And it's like, these are volunteers, they've given up a lot of their time. I know people there also, the board have also given up a lot of their time for this, but treat people with respect. I mean, there's lots of things like that. There's a lot of lack of respect going on there. People have complained about it. I know Danielle McLaughlin complained about it. I wasn't involved in what happened when she left. I have no idea what the details were, but she's complained about it in the past. A lot of people complained about it. It's a problem. It genuinely is a problem. There is, you're in this clique or you're not, and it's like it has to change. If it doesn't change, the station's dead. So that's why I'm making the thing, is to hopefully talk some sense into people and say, this station could still work. The station could actually, you could bring it back and start talking. Both sides have to start talking and accept a compromise. If you just stick to, oh, my side won, you've lost. Because, hey, the people are still on the board, you're still on the board, but the station's crap. Everyone hates it now. Are you just going to destroy the station for your own pride? It's a community station. You know, that's what it is, it's a community station. It's not about you, it's about this community. You have to do what's right for the community, not about you. And that's what they're doing, it's just all about us, poor us. These people hate us, we're paranoid about them, so we'll justify anything. Well, that's my view on what they've done. They'll say it's something different. So at the moment, I'm stressed, oh my god, about this, so that's why I'm just saying, like, this is my last video and I'm moving on. Other people have already started to move on a little bit, and then I've got to join them just moving on because it's like, I just don't want the stress of all this. Idiocy, it's idiocy of other people really, it's not really, it's just terrible. And I mean, the station's been paranoid of everybody. Everybody basically comes up to the line of, they have too many ideas, I don't trust them. They're educated, I don't trust them. They didn't come through the school of life, I don't trust them. Or they're from the council. I'm not sure what the council agenda is. I mean, they're paranoid of the council as well. Like, I'm on the board, they're paranoid of the council. I used to be the person who talked to the council a lot because, like me and Ronnie did, because we could deal with them, because we weren't paranoid about them. I'm sure they'll say that's bullshit, but it's true. But again, I've said this before, please start talking to the people who you disagree with. You're going to have to. It's either talk to the people who you did the dirty on, or the station dies and it's all due to your pride. That's the situation. I can say a lot more, but I don't have proof for a lot more. A lot of things I have suspicions about I don't have proof for. They might come out in the future, they might not. The thing is, you have to let everything be proven or unproven. Everything else is just like blah 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 blah. Including this is me just blabbing. But it's an informed blabbing because I've been in the station, I know the people. I'm still sympathetic to the people there. I really want them to do well and get out of this mess. Which, you know, because I really like them. I can't even talk to them now because you feel like, oh, I've been critical of them. Are they not, you know? And that's horrible. But it's like, they kind of did it though. I mean, what they don't understand is they left a situation where people felt, who are loyal to the station, felt they could not stay any longer. I could not stand to be in the building any longer dealing with this situation because it was so toxic. It was so horrible what happened. And it was so unacceptable. When it happened, I was on the verge of like, I think I'm going to go now. And then what happened to David, when he was told, no, you can't support your friends, I was like, nah, that's it, that's me gone. There's no way to defend that. I mean, you could just say we disagree with what these people said, you're allowed to support your friends. That would have been valid. Because it's not bringing the station in disrepute, you're just supporting your friends. All the station had to say was, we disagree. But they never, they get rid of people for disagreeing with them. And then other people like me left because we couldn't stand dealing with that. And I hope the people who are still at the station will not fall into all those people left are all bastards. They're not. Also, all the people who are still here are bastards, but I have to stick with them because I want my show. They're not bastards. They're flawed people like everyone else. The people who are against them are flawed people too. Everyone's very flawed in this situation. You know? I'm sure most people know that. You know. So, but don't be cruel to people on either side. Just try not to be cruel. Just try and do the best you can in circumstances. And I know you're going to get criticised for whatever decision you make, but just do your best in this horrible situation because I don't think it's going to resolve itself at all. Honestly, I think the station is going to go down, but I hope it doesn't. I really hope something can be done to salvage it. But it's really, no matter what other people do, it's all on the current board trying to do the right thing and actually start compromising. I don't think they are. I was really hoping I could have put some sense into them earlier and say just start compromising. But I don't think it's going to happen. But I really hope it does happen. I'm hoping the people on the station ask them to start compromising, start talking to these people. You know, they say they're going to, but you have to actually offer something beyond, I will talk to you, but don't know about what. It has to be, you have to say something, we'll talk to you about these situations because we don't need to get them solved. Just saying we'll talk to you and we'll see what happens isn't good enough. It just isn't. Anyway, I've ranted enough, enough of your time. Thanks for watching, and let's hope this situation gets sorted. But I'm out. I'm gone. I just can't take this stress this caused me. I had a massive anxiety attack this week because of this. I've already got anxiety. I'm still recovering from it. I've been anxious for 2 weeks because of this utter disgrace. And I've got to back away because it's killing me. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck, Irvine Beat. I hope you see sense.